Hi, Vinisha. Hi, Mr. Umashankar. Hi, Mrs. Umashankar. Thank you so much for being on this show today on Success Studio. This is an initiative called U to the Power of TH, Youth. It has three components: U as an individual, T as in technology, and H as in humanity. And this is a show to celebrate youngsters like you, Vinisha, who have stepped up to solve a social problem and thereby helping and impacting people around us. Uh, even at young age, your thought process and the way you bring out all the resources to work for the solution and the outcome that you get, those are the commendable aspects we want to cover in this series. Like you, there are many youngsters we are talking to. We also talk to their parents to understand what is the support mechanism the parents are giving. And as I understand, many of the parents are from millennial group, and the main stars whom we are talking to are from Gen Z group, right? So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to understand multi-generational aspects as well. So that's why we are glad to have entire family on this show, which is a very unique show. We have certain questions that we discussed before the conversation today, and we're also hoping that this will be a free flowing conversation where you can speak your heart out, where you can talk about what are the aspects that you found inspiring in your journey, what are the aspects which you found can be done away with, what obstacles can be removed on the path of an innovator like yours. That's the flow of the conversation today. And did speak about your achievement last year, and that conversation I got inspired a lot and a lot of energy in the way that you articulated your vision, your thoughts. I thought this will be a very good opportunity for us to revisit how pandemic has featured in your plans and how you have become anti-fragile, right? This is the new buzzword we are hearing during pandemic. Fragile, as we all know, is something which can be broken easily upon stress. Robust is more of a neutral stage where even after applying stress, that material does not break. So what is the opposite of fragile? Anti-fragile. The one which does not break yet becomes stronger than what it was before is called anti-fragile. So when the pandemic hit us, we all became anti-fragile in our response. We started working from home, studying from home in your case. We started adjusting our life to make way for digital devices. Just two things I wanted to share. One is you are an innovator and you are a problem solver, especially social problems. It's not just any problem. Things which are impacting climate, things which are impacting human livelihood or humanity. And you use technology to overcome those challenges. That's why you are a star on our show, Youth. So welcome, Vinisha and family. Our first question is, could you elaborate your achievement in your own words? What are the things that you have been doing and how you see yourself? What is the identity that you have for yourself? Over to you, Vinisha.
Sure. I'm Vinisha Umashankar. I'm 14 years old and I'm an innovator. And the innovation that I came up with is the solar ironing cart. In simple words, it's a social innovation that empowers small entrepreneurs. And its main aim is to eliminate the usage of charcoal by replacing it with solar energy. So, solar energy is a renewable source of energy and it's also very sustainable and environmentally friendly considering our environment in India. But not only India, it can be used on a global scale as well. Like there are many countries apart from India across the world which are still developing that use charcoal to iron clothes. So those countries could also benefit from the solar ironing cart. So the misconception that it can be used only in India is wrong. It can be used across the world as well. So my innovations also span across the whole world. They should be sustainable and affordable.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I particularly like the aspect which you mentioned about impacting livelihood of common and small time entrepreneurs. Fantastic. So,
Yes.
who has been your inspiration in the journey? I'm sure many children or youngsters of your age group, they get ideas. Even my daughter, I have two daughters, they get a lot of ideas. They ask questions. What is that inspires you to take one more step, apart from asking those questions, towards action? Who inspired you in the process?
I think here the question isn't who inspired me, it's what keeps me going. So, what keeps me going is I know the end result that will come if I work hard and my effort pays off. And in this case, though it took me almost a year to develop and finalize the solar ironing card, by the time I finished it in 2019, I won my first competition. And after that came lots of media recognition and my first international award. So it was really difficult coming at it with no experience, but I knew that if I worked hard and my effort pays off, the success at the end would be something that I never imagined. So it was that end result that kept me going. I knew that it was something worth working for.
Wow, amazing. And I'm sure along the way towards your end result, you must have met a lot of setbacks, roadblocks, and naysayers, right? People around you might be saying, "Oh, you're a very small kid. Why are you doing all this?" Maybe some discouraging incidents might have happened. How did you deal with them as a youngster of your age? It's not common to find someone deal with such setbacks. How did you deal with those?
In my situation as an innovator, I can't really look at my age all the time. Yes, there are people who would ask me that I'm too young or this age is too tender to actually start working on something this big. But considering where I am right now, I've technically proved all of them wrong. And proving a person wrong is also something that gives you satisfaction, especially if you're doing something good and correct for the world, especially when you're in the field of science and innovation. You can't let your age stop you. You can do whatever you want, whatever age you are, regardless of your gender or what not in your background. So that shouldn't be a problem. But my actual obstacle was the fact that I'm from a rural town, and over here, though there were moderate amount of facilities, I couldn't actually build a prototype initially. Of course, now the facilities are available, but back in 2018, it wasn't. So that was just something I had to go through. But apart from that, I had a completely good time.
Fantastic. And you touched upon very important aspect, gender, right? Uh, and I'm
Yes,
sure your family has been a great support behind you all the time. Uh, there is no
yes,
difference between a boy or a girl, right? It is your thinking,
definitely.
your thought process, yeah, and the ideas that you come up with, that matters a lot, not gender or any other aspect. And also you touched upon the location, right? Many people succeed because they are privileged. They have access to technology, mentor, or even resources in a metro. You don't have those privileges, or you didn't have when you started, right? So can you tell us more about whether a tier 2, tier 3 youngsters like you can also dream big?
Sure. I think it doesn't really matter where you live. As long as you have the internet, everything can be done online. Of course, the internet is only part of the solution though. When you live in a tier 2, tier 3 city like I do, you generally have a peaceful environment and you're not really worrying about what's going on outside because you know you're completely safe. And another thing is here we don't really worry about whether we have an abundant amount of facilities. We just live by the motto make more with less. So even though we have a good moderate amount of facilities, we learn to make the most of them. So even with limited resources, as long as you have the internet at home, which most people do who live in these towns, then you can find and learn whatever you want online, and that just makes it easier for you to access national and international platforms all the same. So by this time, I think both we and tier 1 cities are on almost even footing.
Yeah, brilliant. And in fact, what you are mentioning opens up a new avenue for our discussion. While we can see the world through a window called internet, it can also be a big distraction, right? Even a simple website, when you open, you get new ideas and you open a new window, and it goes like a, Alice in Wonderland, where Alice keeps chasing that rabbit.
Yes.
It's so difficult to stay focused. What is that you do to stay focused?
For me, I do find it quite hard because almost all my studies has come online now. I have most of my online classes online, and I have to do my studies online because my books are on the computer or my tab. So you don't really have much choice to move away from screen time, especially since you have to do studies of your own as you go to higher classes. That also takes a turn online because you don't have much reference as hard copies right now. That would only change if we went to school. So I just keep a note to myself that if I go over this time limit of using the screen, then I should stop regardless of what work I have. If I have to study anything after that point, then just has to be with the books I have. No questions asked about it. I keep myself a bit strict with that because, especially since if we use the screen for too long, it can definitely harm our eyes, and that's not something I want right now.
Absolutely. A bit of self discipline goes a long way in maintaining our stamina and the way we are running a life of a marathon, not a sprint, right? Very nice. So let me now turn my attention to Mr. and Mrs. Umashankar. Um so, as a parent, when did you find out that Vinisha has the streak of an innovator in her? What are the early signs that you could see when she was a child? And how did you know that this is the space that you want her to own? And what areas and what support systems that you consciously discussed among yourselves? I know you teach at a college, right? Both of you. Uh,
No, I work at school.
oh, you
I'm
work at a
online
school.
business consultant, so we try to combine
Oh,
innovation along with business.
oh,
So that gives
fantastic.
a different perspective for Vinisha to explore. A lot
Yes,
of
sir. Over to
times,
you. Please tell me, how
uh,
did you find this streak in Venetia when she was young, and how did you both, as a parent, nurture that?
from a very young age, she is quite good in grasping information and researching about it and learning more than what is given in a book or information. So that we thought is quite unique to her. A lot of times we accept information as it is. We don't question it. We don't research about it. We don't talk about it. So that we encouraged from the beginning, like when she was even 5 or 6 years old. So that resulted by the time when she was 9 or 10, she started questioning and trying to understand the world around her. So through books and through documentaries, through even discussions, giving her a problem to come up with a solution. So that helped her to think curious. From then onwards, here we are now.
Fantastic. You used the word curious. How many parents nurture that curiosity in a kid? It's very rare. Yes, ma'am. What are your thoughts? When did you find Venetia uh, exhibit these kind of streaks, and what challenges you faced as a mother?
Actually, she is very good from the beginning, I suppose. I can see she can understand everything very quickly compared to other children. As a teacher, I can understand quite a lot about students in my class or wherever I go to teach. So Vinisha is one of the best student I can put like that. Best students I have come across. It is is a joy to teach them, like that kind of kid. Apart from that, it's not like, if we give one book and make them to memorize the facts, that she is not going to be satisfied with that. So such kind of interest and such kind of knowledge and understanding power only, I found it very unique from Vinisha, and we started to nurture that. That's very simple. From young age. It's not like all of a sudden it has come on her. From young age, I can see she is ahead of her peers. So that's what I always feel proud, that she needs something extra, not the same thing what everybody is going to learn. And that's how we started to encourage her by taking her everywhere and showing her whatever she wanted to see through documentaries, through books, and we also take her to various places where it actually happens. So it satisfies her curiosity and satisfies her search of knowledge, you understand. So it is like that.
Yeah,
And we
very
also,
well said.
yeah, we also found like she started winning in many competitions, school competitions especially. It's very easy for her. So we just wanted to challenge her more than that. So that's how it
Yeah,
also.
I can hear a very experienced teacher and a proud mother all rolled into one. Fantastic the way you put it. It takes a expert to know another one. When you see Vinisha excelling in any of these, I can see that you have come out of University of Hard Knocks in life. You know, when you find a diamond, how to sharpen it and how to give it a shine. That's a wonderful quality, ma'am. So
Thank you.
one other thought that comes to my mind when I hear you speak is her level of curiosity is so high that school curriculum did not provide that space, or was not enough for her, to challenge her, and you decided to take her out on a field trip, like a typical homeschooling, where seeing is believing. You take her to exhibition, a museum, planetarium, or a industry where things happen, and she can learn by observing and looking at things in actuality, rather than reading on a book or seeing it on the internet. That idea or a thought or a seed of that idea, where do you think it came from? Is there any formula or a technique
No,
you came
it's not like
across?
that. It's
How it came about? Yeah.
self-interest. It's self-interest. I wanted, see, I don't have resources at my hand, so just I have to show her something, like, it is satisfying my own child. She is not asking for fancy things, or materials which other children would like to wear. She is not that kind. She is in need of knowledge. So why can't we provide it? At least
Intellectual
whenever we
curiosity.
have that.
Yes,
Sorry, please.
I'll add one more thing.
Yeah.
Say, if we want to learn about bronze statues, we can read about it, we can watch it on YouTube or Google it. But the easiest solution is to go to the museum where you can see the real one. What happens is, like, when you see something like that, it must have gone through a lot of skills to make it, and you appreciate things, that it requires skill to make such things. Then you also strive to psychologically get that kind of skill in yourself. It's like, somebody has it, I think I can try to gain, like, knowledge, skill, curiosity. So that's a part of us of learning that money cannot buy. You got to be there to learn.
Absolutely. In fact, in the spirit of Olympics, I was reading a piece of inspirational, quote. In Switzerland, there is a museum, Olympics Museum, which is very famous, it seems. And as one enters into the museum, there is a plaque which talks about the word competition. It is from Latin. Two words have been merged together to come up with competition. Com and Petre. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right way. Com means community or a gathering coming together. Petre is about bringing the best out of yourself. So competition is not about rivalry.
Exactly.
It's about, as a community, we come together to bring out the best in us.
Exactly.
And whoever displays the best skill or a sport or any kind of athleticism, they get the medal. That's how it is designed. Nowadays, what's happening is, even I'm a living example to it. I let my mind interfere with my potential most of the time when it matters, where I need to perform. I had a opportunity to represent Team India as a mental fitness coach in World Skills, which is like equivalent to Olympics, but only for skills. It happens every 2 years. This was 2017. It happened in Abu Dhabi, and from Indian contingent, we were representing almost 28 to 30 trades, starting with jewelry to hairdressing to graphic designing to website designing, IT services. It's a range of skill sets, from hard skill to even service related skills. One thing I noticed is, all these youngsters, they are the champions of our country. They have reached country level after beating everyone in a local event or a district event or a state level event, and they are now representing the country, right? After landing in Abu Dhabi, many of them got intimidated by the looks of other competitors, say Russia or US or Australia or any of these regions. Even a 16, 18-year-old will look very tall and well built. The nutrition levels are very different.
Exactly.
The kind of investment that goes into making a champion is very different from that of India. On day zero, many of my coaches were scared, and I had to, shake them out of it. It was very difficult, right? So when you appear for such competition where you are putting across your innovation in a world arena, how did you approach that? What are the things that you did so that you don't come in the way of your own success?
I do realize when we're talking about international competitions, not all the competitors are on even footing, having been provided equal facilities or equal basic necessities even. But when we're going to an international competition, those differences have to be put aside, and we should just focus on the quality that we've come to compete for. In this case, it's innovation. So here we should put aside whatever is happening in our own life and just focus on our innovation, how well we present it, and how well we can make the judges understand how it will benefit the society, environment, and how scalable it is as a business. If we manage to convince the judges well enough with a good amount of knowledge and good communication skills, then here it doesn't matter where we have come from. All it matters is now in the competition, we are on even footing because we're all being tested with just one area, innovation. So here, when we come to an international competition, it doesn't matter from where we are, it's what we're doing. That's it.
Wow. I have goosebumps moment right now, because the self-talk that a competitor has inside, it determines how far they go in the competition. And for you to have this kind of clarity and confidence in approaching such very demanding situation, what tells me is, at home you have a safe environment where your self-talk is nurtured in a positive way. Not many youngsters are privileged with this kind of environment. Many a times I've heard elderly people telling them, hey, you're a girl, you should not do all this, right? Money does not grow on trees. You should be careful about asking what you want. Keep your aspirations low, don't fly high. These kind of messages are typically in Indian homes, right? Mr. Umashankar, this is a question for you. How
Sure.
did you insulate this girl, this Wonder Woman, from such messages? And what role you consciously played between you and your wife? What role you consciously played in keeping her away from such dysfunctional belief systems, if I can call that?
I would say from the young age, we never treated whether she's a girl or a boy. So the aim is to give a equal opportunity to her like anybody else, so that she gets the confidence. See, the main thing is confidence. Whether you are a girl or boy, the parents should give them the confidence that they are not discriminated or not given proper opportunities to excel like anybody else. Because in life, obviously, some advantages are there for others, some are not there for others. But the thing is, like, confidence is inbuilt quality. Parents have to encourage the children to have it. That's a that no amount of money or anything can give. Of course, like, society is going to be like that. It's been like that for centuries. It's going to be, even in future it's going to be like that. It may change, but as a parent, my role is to make sure that she never feels in such a way that becomes a hindrance to perform or think freely.
Easier said, sir. I really salute you for holding your fort
I'd
really
like
well.
to add over here.
Yeah, please. Yes, please.
To me, as a girl, nothing really stopped me. I may be of the female gender, but that doesn't make me any different from anyone else. Of course, I help out as home, as everyone should, not only a girl child should, everybody should help out at home. And I also study well, I innovate, I can be good in any field I want. And it doesn't matter what anybody likes or does. I can do what I want as an individual regardless of my gender. So I know what I'm doing, and what people say doesn't really bother me at this point.
Keep up that spirit, ma'am. Keep up. Really fantastic. And I'm sure you will scale new heights with this strong growth mindset, as they call, right? So I'm coming back to your parents now. Again, a question from a parenting angle, right? I'm sure as a child, Vinisha would have asked you many tough questions. Some ask that she had, or something that she wanted for her journey, maybe beyond your reach, or maybe you thought it is not practical, or maybe you thought this is not the right time to offer her this. How did you handle such situations where you thought it's not the right time to provide her this opportunity? Has there been any instance like that?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, of course. There will be lots of questions like that. But as a parent, what I used to do is, like, I explain her in simple words at that for that moment, just to satisfy her question. But later on, I'll tell her, like, give me some time. I will search and let you know what is it about. Because Vinisha, she can search all by herself if we let her do. So I'll leave it to me. I'll find and tell you, but I need some time. Mommy is very busy at the moment. It needs a lot of explanation. So by the time, when I'm taking time, here and there, whenever I can, little bit I can explain to her in a particular angle. And then after some time, when she is taking in that idea, she would have set up some kind of clarity. Thereafter, again, I will continue with it. It takes long time. It is not like in a minute or in a day we can explain those kind of answers. It takes time.
I will add
I
one
can
more thing.
completely relate with what you are saying. Honesty is best policy, not to faff around, or not to say, hey, I'm older than you, I have seen more Diwali, so what I'm saying is right, shut up. That's not the parenting style I believe it's happening at your home.
No.
That's really wonderful. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'll
Yes,
add
yes,
one
sir.
more thing. Such kind of difficult questions are also opportunity for parents to learn things that they don't know. They also can explore like a kid, like a curious kid, so they can learn and share that knowledge and interest and passion. It can be like collecting stamps, collecting coins, even some collect different pens. Even such things can be learned and shared, that kind of passion with the child. that starts some questioning. Like, when only when we don't know something, then we get curious.
Why I did not think of this? Year old or 10-year old can think of this question. Why I did not come up with this kind of thought?
Exactly.
No, we
Exactly.
all had come up,
Yeah,
but we did not get
absolutely.
proper answer
I
from our
get what
parents.
Learning doesn't have an age
we
limit,
were.
so you can learn whenever you want.
Shut up.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely, Vinisha. Very well. And I can also resonate with what your mom is saying. When we were growing up, we were told to shut up. Don't ask such questions. You will know when you get old.
Yeah, that's
That will
right.
be the standard response, because it's the parents' inability to provide answer, or the anger comes from place of insecurity. Right? That's how I'm seeing it. I'm also victim. At times I shout and I realize, oh, I should not have done that. Then I go back and say sorry, and treat your child like a responsible adult. That's the lesson
Exactly.
I'm learning from this conversation, Mrs. Umashankar and sir. So when you treat your young adult as a adult with respect, you get that kind of camaraderie, and you believe that you are a partner, not just a parent. Fantastic. So now coming back to Vinisha, you have reached this stage right now, and I know you have clear priorities in life. Right now, you're focusing on your studies, and even while scheduling this interview, I was very mindful not to interrupt with your school schedule. Your priorities, since it's so clear for you, where do you want to go from here? I'm sure you have a plan. Could you share some of your elements of your plan for your audience, please?
Yes, I'll definitely do that. My initial plan is, since I'm still in school, I'll want to at least start a manufacturing unit for the solar ironing cart, because I believe that innovation's true potential is only released when it's coming to the customers, because you receive feedback, you get opinions on how to make it more user friendly. And as an innovator, I think that's really important, because the customers are the ones who are going to use the products. So once I've released the solar ironing cart, I also want to release my other innovations as well. So I'll definitely continue being an innovator. But as my other ambition goes, I'll also have an interest in space science, and I'm really want to become a space scientist, anything in that field. So these are two things which I'm not going to give up even as I grow up.
Wow. I wish you all the success in all the dreams that you have.
Thank you.
You are a technopreneur. That's the term that comes to my mind when I hear you speak. Not just an innovator for the sake of innovation. You want innovation to reach to the masses. And you are willing to listen to customers' feedback and work on it and make it even better, rather than say take it or leave it. So that spirit I really love.
I mean,
Please
I've gone
continue
through customer
on that
service
path.
before. I definitely want to give better customer service than some people I know.
Understood. The empathy is at play right now. Yeah. Do things to others that you want to experience yourself. Yep. I get it. And your dream about space, how did that come about? Can you give us some backstory? Where did that seed come in?
Yes. Again, here my parents, they actually gifted me a space encyclopedia on my 5th birthday. I was an early reader, so around that age I was reading small encyclopedias, and this one happened to be about space. I just remember being so fascinated with that encyclopedia and the content inside it, that since that moment I've been watching constellations at night, learning about all kind of features about the universe. So I just want to learn about that even more, and I hope to pursue a career in that field in the future, hoping I can discover more or aid in space development.
Absolutely. Yes. Fantastic. I'm sure there are more planets to be uncovered. There are more life forms to be discovered. Yes. Why not? Definitely. So now we are coming to close of our conversation. I'm sure we would meet again when you hit new milestones in your career. Just wanted to ask you,
Sure.
what are your words of advice for youngsters like you who are out there in the country, whether they have access or not? What is the advice that you have for them?
Be yourself, because what others think of you or what they say about you is completely irrelevant. Some people might criticize you, some people might congratulate you, but just put aside the negative criticism and take constructive criticism because it will help you improve. But otherwise, you should just ignore it because it might take a toll on your self confidence and you don't want to deteriorate that. Instead, just focus on your passion. Let it be innovation or arts or sports. Just focus on it and develop your own unique set of skills. Because as of now, I know we're all Indians and we come from a place which is still developing. But when we do go to international standards, we're only judged based on our ability on what we're going to perform. So there you do not need to worry about your background. It's just how well you are in your field. That's all you need to think about. So just focus on your passion, do well, stay curious and be yourself.
Yes, I take that as a bumper sticker. Stay curious and be yourself. So we will go into the section where I'm going to ask you a word, and you just take few seconds to think through and share what comes in your mind the moment you hear the word. It's like a word association. Is that okay? Your game?
Sure.
Okay, good. Failure. What comes to your mind?
To me, failure, the first thing that comes to my mind is stepping stone, because I have encountered failure in my life, but it's something that you have to realize it's going to come time and time again, regardless of what you think. So you just have to step over it and keep going. So as of now, I have succeeded, and there will be failures further down in my life, but that's not going to stop me.
Brilliant. The next word for you is success.
Success, something which I am facing right now. Success isn't something isn't you can always boast about, but it's something which you can use to empower others as well. When somebody realizes you have gained success, they can also think that, okay, she has gained success at this age, then I can too, so why not try? So success is something that I can use to actually inspire other students of my age, and I think that's the best advantage of it.
Brilliant. Role model. That's your next word.
Role model. I do have a few role models. C.V. Raman, Marie Curie are two of them. Both of them are scientists and Nobel Prize winners. And C.V. Raman was a physicist, and I'm also interested in physics. So that's why he's my role model. Marie Curie was somebody who I see as a brave, resilient, and smart person, because during the time she lived, females weren't allowed or they were discouraged from pursuing such subjects. So to me, I also like to instill that bravery in myself.
Yeah, explore uncharted territories. Okay. So the next word for you is opportunity.
Opportunity, it means you have to grab when it comes. Sometimes, sometimes it goes, but when you get really good opportunities which you think that can benefit you in your life and what you're aiming for, then you should grab it. But at the same time, opportunities also teach you another lesson, is when to say no. You also have to learn when to close opportunities and see which ones are better or which ones you can manage around your own schedule. So another thing you can learn from opportunities is time management, learning to say no, and when opportunities come, how to give your best.
Wow. Fantastic. And the last word for you is rewards and recognition.
Rewards and recognitions, they come when you achieve, when your hard work pays off. That's what you get when you work really hard or smart and it pays off. For me, it has been a lot of awards for the past 2 years, but I'm really thankful that my innovation has got this much recognition, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to talk to all of you and many of the school students who had come to listen to me in the previous interview. So I'm thankful that rewards and recognitions can also help you meet new people. That's something I really like the rewards for.
Yes, absolutely. And these rewards and platforms really take your message on a global stage.
One day when I was walking home from school, I noticed one of the ironing men in my street using charcoal. Charcoal contributes to air pollution and creates more toxic pollutants. So I researched for a viable solution to prevent air pollution and increase air quality. It was a full-scale prototype and everything was working. I rode it across the street and I charged my mobile phone. Everything was working really well. At that moment it clicked to me that this innovation could change the system of ironing clothes completely in this country.
Just to close this conversation, we have been following a lot of Olympic champion stories on newspapers, right?
Yes.
And one such story which attracted my attention is Indian Olympian who participated in Tokyo 2020. She got this aspiration to be a wrestler when she saw a newspaper which was used as a packing material for the food that she bought, right? So inspiration can come from any place. And if I look at the etymology of the word inspiration, it's again from Latin. It means inspirare. It means to breathe life into. So your work is breathing life into some kid who's there out, who is also thinking in his or her head, if Vinisha can do, I can do too, right? Even if it inspires one person, I think our job here is done. And that's
Exactly.
what Success Studio is all about. And thank you so much, all three of you, for participating in this conversation. I really enjoyed. A lot of goosebump moments for me, especially when I heard your clarity, Vinisha, and the confidence with which you spoke. It gives me a lot of hope for the future generation. I'm sure, like this edition of Olympics, we got so many medals, and the next one, Paris and Brisbane, all would be better.
We broke our London 2012 record and
Yes.
we got a medal in track and field, and it's a gold medal. And there were many athletes who came to the finals as well, which is a big improvement for our country. I'm sure we'll do much better in Paris 2024.
Yes, and many youngsters who are watching this are also getting inspired by all these messages. So thank you so much, and good luck in all your work that you are continuing to do. And excel in physics, excel in space exploration, excel in your technopreneur journey. And I'm sure this would be like a lady Elon Musk from India,
My
Right?
father has been talking about that for a bit.
Yeah, so Tesla is in Bangalore now. I'm also waiting for them to open their shop so that I can go and see the greatness from close quarters. And if at all any of you visit Bangalore, please give me a shout out, and we'll
Sure.
be happy
Sure.
to host you at home. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure.
Wish you all the
Thank
best.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye bye.